is not a bad person, bad. But again, I realized that there are husbands like that.
This kind of patriarchy is so deep rooted in our culture and our society that we don't even question it.
Audience are going to judge her so bad, and in the end, it's a blow for them.
She is teasing everybody, not only me in the film, okay? Amala being there, I didn't have to act. I would have felt jealous anyway.
We look at a person from the outside and you presume they have a certain kind of a life, but you actually don't know what is behind that.
Welcome Nandi, Amala and Sir on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I've seen the film, very intriguing and very, very interesting as well. So Nandi, tell me something. What was the basic idea that you had in mind? Because, I think it's very easy to judge Amala's character as well, because you're giving out hints that even she can be coquettish, maybe she can be someone who may be cheating as well.
Yes.
And then maybe you're manipulating the mind of the viewer.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which is very interesting.
Yes. The idea is that what things seem sometimes are not what they actually are. What may appear one way may actually be something else. So it was, we all have these mirage-like situations in real life. हमारे ज़िंदगी में भी होता है कि we look at a person from the outside and you presume they have a certain kind of a life, but you actually don't know what is behind that and what lurks behind these beautiful exteriors and certain. We are quick to judge people and we're quick to put people into certain slots, but the reality can be far from what appears to be, and that was kind of the underlying theme in Meera, where you see this very successful, handsome, dashing businessman married to this gorgeous girl and has 2 kids and seemingly the perfect life. But you go closer with a microscope and then you see that this is really murky and they have a terrible relationship and every day is seemingly a torture, and what is going on behind. And Meera looks like this beautiful woman who's got it all, a rich husband and the looks, and she's playing the field. But what is actually inside Meera is this woman who is battling her own inner fears, battling her own issues and trying to get out of a situation. So there's so many layers to each thing. So that was the way we went with the story, and the idea was to keep the viewer moving ki hai kya, villain kaun hai isme, is she good, is she bad, is she messing with him, is he messing with her. So that shift I constantly wanted to keep the audience on their toes till the final reveal, and I hope we have succeeded in that.
You have. You definitely have. There's no doubt about that. All right, Amala, Meera's character, it's so interesting. It's not merely that she's trying to flirt with Abbas, for example, but she's actually teasing the audience.
Yes.
She's actually teasing the audience.
She is teasing the audience. She's just being herself. Can't a woman be herself? But yeah, like from a husband's perspective, she is flirting.
Yeah, from a husband's perspective, she's flirting. Why I'm saying that, in a way, she's teasing because I think she's teasing the mind of the viewers.
That's it. I remember telling what you just said right now, exactly the same thing to Nandini, that, we are going to, audience are going to judge her so bad. And in the end, it's a blow for them. It's like they realize, damn, you're so judgmental. We could have thought from a different perspective also, but no one actually, I'm sure about it.
Right.
Only in the end they see this different they come into this different perspective, but it was there all throughout, whatever she was going through, her suffering. But I'm sure as an audience, when you watch it, you think, it's okay for her to suffer because, she is not a loyal or a good woman. Everybody forgets the suffering bit.
Yeah, but starting from the first scene itself, the way the premise is said, when Abbas asks her that what is the reason for your glorious beauty, and she says that have a lover. Yeah. So I think she is building it up. In a way, she is building it up, which later gets clarified.
Yeah.
So
she also says, and make your husband your lover. I think these are the nuances of what I fell in love with Meera.
No, I think it's a wonderful character. All right. So how was your experience? You had to be the jealous kinds. There can be people who can sympathize with you as well because you're so good to the kids.
Amala being there, I didn't have to act. I would have felt jealous anyway.
I don't blame you.
Right. See,
I don't
you
blame
should
you.
also notice that she is teasing everybody, not only me in the film. Okay. So I need not act. Okay. So it happened.
But when you tell your friend that it's all about fitness, so the part is that even though there is this 18-year difference, but even you are looking really good in terms of the way the personality is. It is looking very interesting. So I think that makes it even more. I think the audience is forced to be judgmental in a way as well, which is pretty interesting. But coming to, there's so many issues. I think we need a lot of time, but unfortunately we don't have that much amount of time. But the entire, how the woman has to prove her loyalty, and how the man maybe wants her to just be completely subservient. That is something which is a theme, I think, that never goes out of vogue. Tell us about certain instances that you may have in mind, maybe real life, that you may have experienced, that you wanted to just bring it in the film now.
There are several cases wherein the ego of the man, so to say, is more fragile, and whether it's a wife who's professionally successful, or slightly more beautiful, or whatever, has had to pander to those egos, or tone themselves down to fit into that. And if you have to say something difficult, say it gently. But ऐसे so many boundaries are there, and there are so many hundreds of stories that I have heard from friends, from family, and it is cut across all kind of class barriers. I mean, I'm not even talking that educated, uneducated, right from ekdam lower class to right up to so called educated society, that these things persist, means it has nothing to do with education. Means that this kind of patriarchy is so deep rooted in our culture and our society that we don't even question it. A lot of times, if the husband is even sleeping with another woman, they'll say, so what, he's coming back to you now, why can't you adjust, or what is it that you are not doing that the man is having to go out and look for, or something like that. So there has been a kind of a tendency to look for the blame at the woman in that sense. Even when you talk of rape, it comes back down to this thing of a dress of women. What kind of clothes are girls wearing nowadays to colleges? And obviously boys will behave like that. I mean, and this has nothing to do with actually what's happening outside in terms of facts. When you see little kids and babies and old women getting raped, it has nothing to do with how they've dressed. So patriarchally, we have created certain conversations, certain stereotypes which are there. When will it change? Is education going to change it? Is it going to change in 20 years? I don't know. But I feel it's only going to change if people start questioning it. And who are the people who have to question it? It's women, because you are the most affected. And I think that's where it has to start.
Beautifully said, Nan.
You'd like to add to that, Amala?
I second and third her.
Second and third. All right. Now, one hallmark of Meera was that she is very desirable, and that is something which comes rather naturally to her. What was the brief that was given to you? How did you work on that? You playing a mother to two, but at the same time you still are looking very glamorous. What is the entire process like?
Yeah, so Meera is a 28-year-old, character. So I could, I played my age, so I could relate to her that wise. But yeah, mother of two children, and who's married to someone who is like, two decades older to her. So, and still she manages to look, so beautiful and desirable. So yeah, it was well written in the story itself. The screenplay and the dialogues were well, there was good description about it. So we sort of worked on the looks, and we thought that like that the long hair and the nose pin, and she has to be very feminine, and she has to be graceful, because that's what Meera is, and she's a writer and she's a creative person. So I think all that put together, we could bring out a very beautiful look to Meera. Yeah, it came out so nicely.
I think Meera was always aware of the impact she had on men. She was aware, and although constantly reminded by her husband that, oh, he's looking at you and you're trying to get his attention, is the constant thing. So after a point when she actually starts working on the plan, I think she starts using everything to her advantage. Whatever was, pointed out as a flaw in her, she starts using that as a strength, and writes it in her escape route, so to say. So she kind of turns the tables. So I think when you come to the end of the story and now you revisit the story after knowing the climax, I think you'll see all the other layers in a different way.
Yeah. Yes.
No, definitely. There's no doubt about that. All right. So even your character, the way it has been presented, I think the best part is it is not all dark. As I mentioned in the beginning, that he's good to the kids. If you look in totality, maybe he's genuinely having certain nice feelings for the wife. He's honest towards her, but then he is having certain tragic flaws, maybe, and maybe anger is one of them. The jealousy is one of them as well. How do you look at this particular character, because it's very interestingly gray? That makes it so, in a way, you feel for him by the end of it. Yeah, that he has been conned.
See, this particular character is not a bad person, bad. But again, I realized that there are husbands like that who are insensitive to the wives. And that is what my character is. I did not think in that angle, and the character did not think in that angle whether she likes it or not, whether she wants it or not, and I'm not understanding her totally. I misunderstand her. So it goes into the negative thinking because of the possessiveness I have for her.